Hey everybody, we actually recorded this episode like weeks ago, and then a whole bunch of life stuff happened. There was an election, you probably heard about it. But this is a super special episode, it's a super good episode, I hope you'll think so too. And now that's after Thanksgiving, I hope everybody's full and you can just kind of kick back and relax listening to this episode with our friend from the UK, Paul. And since he's in the UK, just a quick heads up, some of the audio towards the end gets a little janky because we recorded this over Discord, but hopefully what we're saying is interesting enough you don't shut it off. Okay, thanks everybody. Hope you had a happy holiday. I hope you have a great holiday season. Franny and I aren't sure if we might not do any episodes until January, but we'll probably keep you updated on that. Just check the socials, because we still got to go over all that stuff ourselves. Anyway, enjoy the episode. Paul, if you're listening to this, thanks again for showing up, and here we go. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Every Marvel Movie Ever. I'm your host, Gabe Thomas. With me, as always, is your co-host, Francisco Alcala. But joining us for the very first time, I don't even remember when the first time we brought him up on the show was, but I feel like it's been almost since the beginning.
It probably has, to be honest.
He's done the art for our YouTube channel and for the podcast logo. He has his own podcast called The Shabocast, all about Doctor Who. It's Paul. Hi, Paul. How are you doing today?
All right, how are you?
Fine.
Not fine after this movie. I'm kidding. It's not that bad.
So Paul is a big, I would say, would you say defender, Paul, or would you just say you like it a little more than most people do?
Oh, I won't excuse her, but I do enjoy it.
Okay, well there you go. Today we're talking about Josh Trank's seminal masterpiece, FAnt4stic, Fantastic Four. We all call it FAnt4stic because of the really weird titling where the 4 is an A.
I really hate it.
And a horrible mistake. It's weird to me when anyone calls this Fantastic Four, though, because I'm like, it's not. Well, it's not.
Yeah.
Because it's literally not called that the way you look at it. This movie is trashed on constantly, considered like this horrible mess of reshoots and just tone-deaf, weird choices, and I don't know. Watching it again, I'd only seen it one time before, and I really, really didn't like it. This time, there's some interesting, weird choices that I kind of enjoy. I wish they would take them a little farther, but a lot of it is just really confusing, and I have a lot of questions. What about you, Franny?
Yeah, I feel like the whole movie just feels like really wrong, and I can't really describe what exactly that means. It's just everything about the movie feels so off and just it feels really weird, and most of it is pretty boring.
Well, what about you, Paul? What do you think?
I definitely don't think it's boring. I never seen it in cinema when it came out because I didn't go to cinema a lot then because I was young. But it was like when Deadpool started, came out when I started. But I got this on DVD, and I used to just watch it all the time. Not because it was good or anything, but I just used to think it's quite cool, so I just always put it on in the background when I was doing stuff.
That's really interesting, because I think this is one of the only Marvel movies, probably since Thor the Dark World, that I didn't see in the theater. I was out the door, going to see it, and then I was like, I don't need to do this. I don't remember if I just turned around and went home and watched Age of Ultron again or something, or if I went to go see something else. But did
you go all the way to the theater? And then...
No, I was well, do you remember my mom's old house?
Yeah.
On that street? It's a 5-minute walk from the theater,
yeah,
for those listening. And so I was halfway, and I was just I don't need to I don't need to see Fantastic Four. And I turned back. And the thing is, this is the first Fantastic Four movie in 8 years, and we haven't had one since. And as much as the two of us enjoy Rise of the Silver Surfer, I don't know how you feel about it, Paul, but we have never gotten a great Fantastic Four movie. I do think that this is the worst one, even with the 90s one, because that one's kind of goofy.
Yeah, I do like that one.
To be fair, one thing I can definitely say about Rise of the Silver Surfer is that he definitely says surf's up metalhead.
Surf's up metalhead!
God damn it.
Yeah, you're keeping the dream alive, Paul. You're keeping it alive. You were so adamant, Franny, that he did not say it.
Yeah, I have nothing
Trying
to
to
say
make me
other
look
than that's
dumb.
such a dumb line.
Oh, I forgot about that, Paul. Thank you so much.
I can't believe people hate them two movies. You know, I always thought they were like revered as classics, like Spider-Man and X-Men. Finding out people are like, oh yeah, all the Fantastic Four movies are just bad. I'm like, oh.
I think they're fun. The 2005 one is just, it's fine. It's not that good. I genuinely enjoy watching Rise of the Silver Surfer, though. I think that it's a fun movie. I mean, you can go back and listen to our episode about it, guys, if you want to hear how we felt. Also, that was the same day that we recorded our Sam Hargrave episode, so I think we were all hyped up that day.
That was the
so
same day.
we probably liked it a little more because we were in a good mood. I enjoy that movie. And the 90s one is bad, but it's a little more interesting to me than FAnt4stic.
Oh, come on.
The thing is, this is an interesting movie to talk about, so I am glad that we have Paul on for this, because some of the choices, this is a victim of, like, it's just, like, thrown around, because Josh Trank was like, he made Chronicle, which I still haven't seen. I should have watched it before this, but
What?
I forgot he made it. Yeah, I haven't seen Chronicle. I have it. I haven't seen it. It's like
Why do you have it
80.
then?
It's like 90 minutes long. Because I
It's
was gonna
so
watch
good.
it, and I never watched it. I'll watch it. I'll watch it soon. I'll watch it tonight.
It's
or
so
something.
good.
Yeah, I should watch that. Anyway, he made that, and so they were like, Marvel and all these studios love to do this thing where a filmmaker will make something on like a small budget, and then they're like, we're giving you a big budget movie. Like, it happens constantly. It happens with like
Amazing Spider-Man.
Amazing Spider-Man, right? He's just like an indie director. And
Yeah.
like,
I think there was a different reason for that one.
oh yeah, that's true. Because of the name. Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man's actually amazing though. So.
I know it is. Yeah, so it's like you take this guy who's done one movie on a small budget, and it's like, now you're doing this. So they take Josh Trank, who just made Chronicle, and they say, you can make this Fantastic Four movie. But then they didn't like what he did, I guess, or something, and they're like, we're going to reshoot tons of it. All these scenes that are in the trailer aren't in the movie now. Basically all the fun parts in the trailer they take out. Or it's like something like that shot of like Johnny Storm, he comes down that tunnel and lands. It looks like that's an action scene, but it's just like he just lands. He's just in a lab. A lot of people complain that this whole movie is just moving from like industrial building to industrial building, and then the planet, and that's about it.
A lot of it is inside the same building.
No alternate locations, which isn't like a huge deal. It's just, it makes it kind of visually uninteresting. But the movie starts, and it's not that bad at the start, where it's just Reed Richards, and he's like, instead of wanting to go to space, because it's usually space, he's like, I want to make a teleporter.
I want to teleport.
Goes to another dimension.
Do you know what? I love that.
Yeah,
So
and that's fine. It's clobbering time's pretty bad, though.
That was
Yeah.
one of the dumbest things in the entire movie.
That's the first slight. That's the first hint.
Yeah,
I think.
I was
That's
like-
oh.
If it weren't a joke, it would have been fine.
Yeah, but that actually being like, oh, is what his brother would say when he'd beat Ben Grimm up. That's weird. I don't know about that.
Yeah, other than that, I
yeah.
think the first 20 to 30 minutes were actually pretty good. I didn't mind them that much. So I actually enjoyed them.
What about the science fair where it's all like 10-year-old children?
That was weird too.
And then Miles Teller is like 20, and he's at the science fair. It's like, Miles Teller at the science fair, that's fine, that's whatever, but you can't cast 108-year-olds and be like, he's like them. Like, it's just confusing. It makes it look like he's been held back.
It's even weirder because he loses and he does the best.
Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, 'cause
Even though he does something different to what he said, he's still done something that's never been done.
he makes a teleporter and the fucking
Yeah.
paper mache volcano still wins or whatever. It doesn't make any sense.
This is science, not a magic
Irony.
trick.
It's like, well, I wouldn't call it a magic trick. He exploded that backboard. And also, what is it with these weird mediocre superhero movies and breaking a backboard? Because Amazing Spider-Man has that too, where he smashes the thing, and then this has it. I guess it's just an easy way to show power or whatever.
Yeah.
What's
Just
the basketball?
knows
Oh, the basketball.
Yeah,
thing,
when he tricks Flash in that super cool scene.
Are they all like glass? Yeah, because over here they just look like They're just plastic.
Yeah, exactly. Cause
So,
yeah. Also, yeah, that's a good point. Who's making these high school backboards out of glass? Yeah,
yeah, that you literally throw balls at to get them to go in the hoop.
Yeah,
exactly. That's
if
such a good
anything,
point.
it would just fall out in a chunk, not
yeah.
fracture.
No, that's such a good point. I didn't
Literally.
even consider that. That's so weird that these movies both show that. So yeah, I don't know what that's about, but I guess we should we run through the cast real quick because we have Miles Teller as Reed Richards.
Amazing.
He's fine.
Yeah,
in
he's
the
pretty good.
movie. Yeah, he's a solid Reed Richards. Everybody's fine. Is the thing. The four of them, they're all fine picks. Jamie Bell as Ben Grimm is a little weird because he's
one
tiny.
Is very weird. I have some opinions about the thing.
Jamie Bell's such a good actor as well. Like
he is a good actor.
I watched Billy Elliot recently, and he's amazing in that, and he's a kid in it. And he's great in Rocketman as well.
And he's great in Rocketman. That's true. And Tom Holland's in Billy Elliot too. So that's interesting.
I know, yeah.
Little tidbit, yeah. But yeah, and Billy Elliot's about him being like a dancer, right? And he's like tiny.
Yeah.
And that's like the point. And so they took Tiny Dancer and they put him.
Shut up.
They put him into Fantastic Four, and it's like, especially going from the old movies where he's Michael Chiklis and he's like this big bruiser guy.
Yeah.
And then you're making him this tiny twig of a man, and it's what a weird thing to do. What a weird choice for that character.
He's just the Hulk made out of rock.
Yeah, now he really
But now
is.
he's even closer this time.
Yeah, so he's fine. I've just always been really confused by that choice to have it be like, yeah, we're going to have the Thing, and then maybe it's like a parallel thing, where it's like, oh, he's big when he's the Thing, and he's small, and he's been empowered now that he has the superpowers. But it's just, I don't think that idea is fully communicated if that's what they're going for.
None of the ideas are fully communicated.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's where it falls down.
Exactly,
He doesn't have the size or the voice for it. His voice
No.
doesn't fit.
He just
like,
sounds
at
like
all.
a guy. It doesn't adapt to when he's the monster.
Yeah.
It's like King Shark and Harley Quinn, except they don't do it for comedic purposes.
Yeah, exactly. It's like this is silly. Like it's like if he was just talking as if Hulk was talking as Mark Ruffalo, not in Endgame, but in like when he's just Hulk. That's weird.
It's just Mark Ruffalo screaming. It's not even monster you're screaming.
Yeah, it's just a wild man screaming at aliens. Yeah, no, so that's super odd. What do you guys think about the Thing's design, though?
I hate it.
I hate it too.
Honestly, I hate it so much.
I love it.
Okay, yeah, I figured that Paul would probably be more into it.
And then the
eyes are good. I like the eyes. They're
yeah,
a lot
I do
more
like the eyes,
expressive.
but that's about it. Like
Yeah.
even the change that they put over his voice just doesn't work.
Yeah, well, that's the weird part, but I just mean visually. It's a good effect. Like, technically it looks good, but he's just like a big naked pile of brown
It looks like
rocks.
he is there.
Yeah, so the Thing design, what do you like about it, Paul?
Because, like, the original, it's like, because he's meant to be, like, someone who could go up against the Hulk, isn't he? Like, the original Michael Chiklis one is just a guy in, like, a weird, like, foam suit who'd get absolutely fucking clobbered by the Hulk.
Well, that's
And then-
true, yeah. It would be clobbering time for sure.
Yeah.
If they were
Fuck
fighting.
up.
The Hulk could be his brother in this scenario, and he just come in.
Yeah, it's really clobbering time, man.
I feel like, if anything, I just don't like how the face looks on it. Like, I think from, like, the neck down, I think it looks fine. But then you get to, like, the face, and then there's just something off about it.
The nose is a bit weird. They should have Mark Ruffalo'd it up, but not literally Mark Ruffalo'd it up a bit. They should have Jamie Bell'd it up a bit.
Yeah, they should
Like,
have
made
Jamie
him look
Bell.
more like Jamie Bell.
That's a good
sort
point.
of.
Yeah, there's no humanity to him other than the eyes. That's why I like the eyes, is because it's like the one semblance of there's a man in there.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just this
Yeah.
big block, I think.
A big rock man.
That's quite good, I reckon, though, because, like, when you see him cocooned in the rock, that's absolutely terrifying.
Yeah,
Like,
that
and he's
first
just screaming
scene,
for help.
That first scene when
I
they
did
get
like that a lot.
when they get back is one of the best parts of the movie
Yeah.
because he's just on that table and his arms are so long and it's like really it's like David Cronenberg.
I like
terrifying.
I like the idea of that, but when they first show it, it doesn't look that good.
It looks
Like
better.
the effect kind of looks a little off.
It looks better than it does in the other one, though.
Oh, definitely.
It looks much better, I think. Yeah, no, but I just that idea where it's like he's just woken up and his arms are just stretched out and he has no idea why. It's pretty scary. I like all that stuff. That's my favorite stuff in the movie. Just because I love like Cronenberg and like The Fly is like one of the great movies to me, and so I think that that kind of influence on a Fantastic Four movie is a great idea, but it's only for like a couple minutes, and then they kind of drop that.
It's like 10 minutes of the movie.
I reckon that's my favourite part of the movie. Like that's the part that makes me go, I love this film. But like the idea that even as the Thing, he's still like the man's trapped inside the rocks. Like with the eyes and that, I think that could have been amazing. My love for this movie is all in potential.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not, none of it's realised.
And I like the dad a lot, and I love Michael B. Jordan. He's probably the best of any of them. Michael B. Jordan is Johnny Storm.
Yeah, I think he definitely did the best.
Yeah, he's super great. And it definitely continues the trend of, oh, you were Human Torch in a weird Fantastic Four movie? We'll put you in the MCU because Chris
we'll
Evans,
let you redeem yourself.
Michael B. Jordan. It's like, oh, yeah, we'll take all the Human Torch we can get and put him into better movies.
That 90s guy's get a call any day now.
Yeah, exactly. So they put him into Black Panther, of course, and he's great in that. And I like him in this. This is the same year as Creed, so this was really his year in a way. And I know he's in Chronicle, so I got to see that, and I got to see him.
Oh, he's so good in Chronicle as well.
Yeah, and Dane DeHaan's in Chronicle, so all sorts of colorful characters.
That's the question.
That's the question. So yeah, I should watch that movie. But yeah, Johnny Storm I like, and Kate Mara I like, other than I like music. Like her character trait.
Yeah, that's
she likes
really
music.
weird.
That's really annoying.
That's not a character trait.
No, exactly.
I need music to focus.
Yeah, it helps me focus. It's like, yeah, it helps everybody focus.
So does everybody.
It's like
scientifically proven.
Chemical reaction. Yeah, exactly. So, and you would think as a smart lady she would know that. And she's...
That scene, though, it has the bit where he's like, oh, you're adopted. And she's like, yeah. And he's like, cool.
Yeah, that was... I mean, I guess if you're gonna do it. I feel like you don't even have to explain it. It's like you can kind of assume that she was adopted. But
it's good that he didn't make a big deal of it. Like he could have went, "You're."
It would be really weird if he did. He just goes really hard into it. Reed, but also in the comics, Reed Richards is like crazy. I know we've talked about this before. He's not a good
Reed
person.
Richards is weird. In the other movies, he's like always weird to show. Like I'm surprised he even got with it because his sexuality is just like non-existent. She's like comes to bed read and he's like particles. He
has more chemistry with Ben than he has with Sue, to be quite fair. But yeah, no, I don't know. She's good, but none of these people have anything to really do in the movie other than... Oh, and Toby Kebbell, either way, as
Toby Kebbell.
Toby Kebbell, thank you, as Dr. Doom.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do we feel about Victor, also known as the most useless character in this movie?
I've only ever seen him in Black Mirror, I think, other than this, in an episode with Jodie Whittaker. That was the most depressing thing ever. Apart from the other 2 episodes of Black Mirror that I watched.
Oh my god,
never watching this ever again.
I don't know where Toby Kebbell is. He's in those Planet of the Apes movies, I think. I think he does mocap in those.
Oh, I'll have a look
for him.
But that's he's kind of fallen off the face of the earth. Because when this movie was coming out, there was a leaked rumor that he was going to be called Victor Domashev and he was going to be a hacker.
Yeah, I think that's what they changed in post.
Yeah, exactly. And then so when they hand the document and it's like Victor Von Doom, it's like clearly like superimposed or they've just changed it.
They shouldn't have changed that because it's not even that bad.
Yeah, I know.
Just change his name, who cares?
Dr. Doom over here. But yeah, exactly. You're right. I don't care at all if his name is Domashev. But the thing is, he was going to be a hacker, and he's supposed to be like the ruler of a country and the most formidable villain in the Marvel universe. And so
No, he's just some homeless 20-year-old.
well, he's just playing like COD and listening to Beethoven or whatever the fuck, watching violent crimes.
It's
So
just the weirdest assortment of things.
it's so weird. It's just like, what's cool? What do kids do? They listen to classical music and play Call of Duty.
I feel like, now that I'm thinking about it, one of the things that I feel like is weird about this movie is these characters don't really work as being like 20-year-olds.
Do you
At
think
least in
they
my
should be
opinion.
older so they have more experience?
I feel like they only really work when they're actually like full-grown adults and not like just out of college.
I think you need to have them be younger because they're drunk and partying, and then they go to the other dimension, which is not smart.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That's like, oh, they went there because they were wasted. It's
Yeah.
Apparently, Toby Kebbell was in Bloodshot. Of
Oh,
all
really?
movies.
oh my
So,
god, that was the last movie that was ever
He's
released.
doing worse than we thought.
I will never watch Bloodshot. No, I
Same.
will.
I was gonna get it on demand, and then I thought, no,
No,
I don't want to see this.
let's watch Fantastic Four again. Instead.
I remember, Gabe, I was like, I've got Fantastic Four on DVD in my room, but it's on Sky now for £3. Should I buy it instead of just going upstairs?
Oh my god, that's right. Yeah,
and you were like,
Bloodshot.
don't.
Either way.
I was like, alright, maybe not then.
I mean,
Earlier on.
honestly, I'm sure Bloodshot is fine. I'm sure it's whatever, but what? Like,
Earlier on, before this, I was going to rewatch Fantastic Four with my mates. So we were trying to get it to stream on Discord through Netflix. But when I'd show them it'd just be a black screen for them. So I considered renting it on Amazon Prime, just so they could watch it. And then it was a black screen on there too, so I never rented it. But then I just bought the soundtrack instead. So I'll find the new ways to take me money.
I think that you have given this movie more money than anyone, including Josh Trank in the history of the world, including Fox themselves. I wish that at the start with the Fox logo, they should have kept the F for a second longer, like they did with the X and
Oh
X-Men
my
movies.
God.
They should have done it, but
That would have been amazing.
it would have been
That would have
amazing.
made this movie the best movie ever made.
Yeah, it would have saved the movie.
Yeah, I would have completely changed my mind if they did that. So, going back to your point about Doctor Doom, or not point, but question, how do we feel about Doctor Doom? The design of Doctor Doom at the end of this movie is, in my
Amazing.
opinion, one of the worst comic book designs I've ever seen.
This is betrayal at its finest.
It's just terrible. Like, he's just his mouth doesn't move. It's just a line. He's like covered in garbage, and he has like a moldy sack around him. That's his cape.
His cape looks
That
so
cape's
bad.
so cool.
He literally stole it from a homeless person.
Yeah.
Doctor Doom looks, despite the characterization, he looks phenomenal in those other two Fantastic Four movies. He looks exactly perfect. In this movie, he just looks fucking weird.
Yeah,
I like this one so much.
Okay, well,
Nah.
tell us about that, Paul, before we trash it a little more.
Obviously, he doesn't look like the mask and all that. He's just got like a metal skin. But like when he first shows up and you see him like wander, first of all, the cinematography in this movie is amazing. Yeah, like I love it so much. Especially in the other dimension, it just pops. So like when he shows up in his green cape, it just looks amazing, like the big hood and that. And then you see his face, and you're like, but it's quite terrifying, to be honest. Like that he's just it. So the way like the thing had the rocks like melt onto him and that, Doctor Doom had like the teleport machine like melt onto him and all that.
Right,
It's
yeah.
pretty cool. And then he's got like sort of Sue Storm's powers with like being able to move stuff and that. And then he's as smart as Reed. So like he's a good like combination of all of them basically, I reckon.
No, that's a good point. I definitely didn't put that much thought into it at all. I was just like, I don't like this.
Yeah,
So I'm glad you were able to
I came up with that
explain
just
it.
now.
That actually made me like it a little more.
that is all true. But he
Yeah.
still looks ugly.
Yeah, I still don't like the way he looks. But that combination, and of course, this is a different universe, and they're not going to space, they're going to a different dimension, so they'll look different. I can accept that. But I just think from a costume design standpoint, he looks really weird.
Yeah.
But also, it leads to my favorite part of the movie, where he's just exploding people's heads.
That was
that's amazing.
terrifying, and I did not expect it.
That's the easy best scene for me, because it's just like, this is a superhero movie.
Yeah.
This is a PG-13 superhero movie, and he's exploding people's heads full on. It's like, I
They
guess
should have New Mutants it up a bit, I reckon. Like, made it, like, fully horror.
yeah.
And this movie, it'd just be, like, next level. Like, that hallway scene.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
nah,
maybe
well,
that would
know
be
what I
more
mean.
the... If Josh Trank's original version of this movie was more like that scene where they first wake up after the planet and like that head explosion scene, I want that movie. That's the movie I want.
That's like Chronicle, so you can tell that's like his original vision was for it to be similar to that.
Oh,
And then
man.
all the rest of it's where it's changed. So like when I watch it, I'm like, that's a great scene that would have been a better movie made by Josh Trank. And then I'm just like, never see that movie.
I hope he gets to make another movie, because I do feel bad that he totally got fucked over. For
No,
this.
I feel like he probably got blacklisted after this movie.
I feel like when they give like indie directors big movies, it's like a good career opportunity for them, but it's also career suicide if it's bad.
That's actually, yeah, that's true. Like, I don't think it's Gareth Edwards, right, who did Rogue One. I don't think he's done anything after that.
I've not heard of anything he's done since then.
No,
He done
exactly.
Godzilla and then Rogue One, and then now he's just dead.
And I really like Rogue One, but
Rogue
a lot
One's
of people.
amazing.
I know it's great, but a lot of people don't like it, and so
Darth Vader's best scenes in that. Like
I know.
before that, Darth Vader just weren't as good.
yeah. Well, actually, both Vader scenes in that movie, despite the weird pun he makes, are pretty great.
That's amazing, that pun.
I know it is, but it's really bad. Yeah. Okay, Franny. There's a scene. And this is gonna sound really dumb when I explain it to you, but there's a scene in Rogue One where Darth Vader's there, and he's choking this guy. He just starts choking the bad guy in the movie, and he turns around and says, "Be careful not to choke on your aspirations, director."
And he was talking to Gareth Edwards.
Yeah, so I think we need him back. Wait, that's a good point, Paul. Exactly, that's what they said to him afterwards.
Yeah, I think that was the point where the Star Wars franchise officially died.
No, that was the point where it lived. That's when things got better. It was after he said that. It's weird because that movie also has the like best Darth Vader scene ever, but it also has that scene, and I love that scene. But that is a weird choice. But I'm totally for it.
That movie's just so good.
Anyway, what were we talking about? Heads exploding. And Tim Blake Nelson is in it, and he was in The Incredible Hulk, and because he became the leader. Remember, he got the blood in his head. And his head was getting big, and then we never saw him again.
He does a lot of weird things with his mouth in this movie, and I don't like it.
Oh, I wasn't focusing on his mouth, Franny. I don't know what you're trying to say. But, what am I thinking of? What's the other really embarrassing thing that happens?
The wig.
Oh yeah, we can talk about the wig. Kate Mara's hair changes from scene to scene. Sometimes it's her normal hair, and sometimes it's like this really, really bright blonde wig. It looks like a mop. So
do you know
That's
what?
I was trying to figure
I've
out
seen
what's
this
so
movie
off.
countless times, and I never noticed it.
really? It's super obvious for me, and that's one of those big reshoot things. So
I
there's so
always
many
just
times,
think I brushed different or something.
there's so many times where you can tell, and it's like, so this was not supposed to be there originally. This is new.
Yeah, I kept looking at her, and every time it would be like,
Is this
that
the
didn't look
same
like the last
person?
time I saw her.
Yeah, exactly. It changes from scene to scene. And she's, I don't think Miles Teller, I don't know if he has a career still. Because he was in Whiplash, and everyone
I
loved
hope he
it.
has a career still.
And he was in the Divergent movies. And he was in 21 and Over. Is that the one he was in, Paul?
That's so good, that film, you know.
Yeah, so in Spectacular Now. So he's in all these movies. And then I don't know where he is. Do you know where he is? Is he still doing stuff?
He's just over there.
Oh yeah. Can you get him on the show? You can probably tell us about it.
He said, "Hello, my name is Miles Teller." It's all you get out of him these days.
Yeah, that's what they got out of him in press interviews
Oh,
too.
he's in Top Gun. He's in the next Top Gun movie, apparently.
Oh, okay, there you go. That's his resurgence. This is his comeback.
Imagine he just plays real life Tom Cruise.
he just keeps hurting himself. He
Yeah.
breaks his legs
It's like,
on the set of
oh,
every
I
movie.
broke my leg.
Exactly. Oh my god, Tom Cruise made a movie in space. Did you know that?
What?
Randy?
When was this?
He's making. I don't know if he's made it yet, but he's like. I think
Oh.
he's in space right now.
Oh, I heard. Yeah, okay, I heard
He's
about
in
that.
space right now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Have they just forgot about him?
It's like
Yeah.
for the next Mission Impossible movie or whatever, they're actually filming it in space or something.
Yeah, I think so. So I think that's the farthest we've ever gone for a movie. I think Tom Cruise has pushed it past the breaking point at this point.
Okay, so I looked up Miles Teller because I wanted to see where he is now. So what came up was his most recent tweet from 6 days ago that just says "Thank you, baseball."
Oh, because we won? Is that why?
That's because
I guess.
one like spiraled around the earth and he's seen it and he was like, "Wow, they're still alive," and that gave him hope that he'd one day come back.
I'm amazed that Miles Teller is even active on Twitter. Okay, so the reason I was even talking about Miles Teller is
Wait,
because
was that Miles Teller? I thought that was Tom Cruise.
Tom
No.
Cruise is in space. Miles Teller is on Twitter.
Yeah, Miles Teller's on Twitter saying "Thank you, baseball."
What? Gonna
Yeah.
go follow him right now.
So anyway,
He needs this.
Miles Teller is definitely not as prominent in Hollywood right now after Fantastic Four. Kate Mara was on like House of Cards and American Horror Story, so she's doing TV stuff.
I've never seen Kate Mara in anything else other than this.
Oh, well,
I don't think.
she's in Iron Man 2, actually.
Oh no, yeah, I have.
Yeah, she drives that car at the start.
Oh,
Remember?
okay, yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked about it on that episode.
He's been in a couple things after.
Recently?
Yeah.
Okay. Was
Actually,
he in
I think
Allegiant? Divergent 3?
that was what came out like
She-
immediately after.
Kate Mara was in Brokeback Mountain.
Yeah, she is.
That's
right.
mad.
Yeah, so is Linda Cardellini. I think everybody in
Wow.
Brokeback Mountain was in a superhero movie, actually. Anyway, yeah, so Kate Mara is on TV. Miles Teller is talking about baseball. Michael B. Jordan has a career, and Jamie Bell was in Rocket Man. So half of them are doing fine. Half of them
Michael
are...
B. Jordan's about to direct his first movie.
Who is? Miles
Michael-
Teller?
No.
Oh,
No, Michael B. Jordan.
I was like,
Yeah, Miles Teller's directing
What?
Creed 3.
is he going to play Creed now?
Currently, Miles Teller's just looking at his phone. Got a notification that I've followed him, and he's gained a new lease on life.
That's his first follower in like
Yeah, I was gonna
3
say.
years.
Yeah,
Oh man, poor Miles Teller. I hope he gets back out there. I don't think he's great in Whiplash. I haven't been super impressed in anything else I've seen him in.
he
but
should
maybe...
do more comedy movies, I reckon.
Okay, I
He
haven't
was
seen
great in 21 and Over.
I gotta see that one too. I gotta see all sorts of shit. I should be catching up on the Fantastic Forecasts movies. And the thing with Josh Trank also is apparently he was, after this movie was like taken away from him, basically he was getting
Tragic.
super rowdy and he like crashed a limousine into a swimming pool or something crazy. I don't remember.
That's
He did-
amazing.
He did something. He kind of went insane after this. But he has I'll leave this in the description, but he has like a letterboxed review of FAnt4stic, where he's like, yeah, this was weird. I'm sorry guys, but it's not totally, it's a whole thing. Well, I like that. He is just like,
Oh.
and right after this movie came out, I think it was like the weekend it came out, there's a famous tweet where he's like, yeah, I had a really good version of this and they fucked me over. So I think he probably has been blacklisted because he was immediately after, he was like, you guys suck.
Where's the Trank cut of
To be
FAnt4stic?
fair, I'd do the same. Like, if they fucked me over so big, I'd be like a lad.
I think that Josh Trank should come back and do something.
He done Capone, but no one's seen them.
Oh my
Oh.
god, he did do that. That's right, that came out
On-
this year.
On his movies list on Google, one of them's Fantastic Four 2. What could have been.
Oh my god, I wish. I would see it, honestly.
Of course you would. It's
There's-
a Marvel movie.
Well, yeah, I would have
When
to.
he-
You would have to, too.
Remember, they were going to be in Deadpool too.
Yeah,
And they were
well,
going to have like red suits. Oh,
I think there was a plan to cross over the Fantastic Four with the X-Men, because of something
that
with the
big
old.
cast photo.
I think they were gonna take the dimension thing, and go to the X-Men dimension in a sequel or something.
The fuck?
That's
then
so
that-
weird.
Yeah, that would
Because
have
they
been
could
really
have just
weird.
been like, oh, they just exist.
Yeah,
together.
yeah. I'm amazed it's on Disney Plus though. That's where I watched it. They put this on Disney Plus. I don't
Heads
know why.
exploding.
They didn't put any extras on it or anything. They just threw it out there. So
They're like,
do you know
nobody's
the
gonna
original
try to
Fantastic
watch this
Four
anyway.
movie? I remember, I might have just made this up, but I remember like when they got their powers, it was to do with the X-Men. Like, do you know the storm? Like, when that comes, I might be mixing it up with something. So, like, do you know in Heroes, in Eclipse, everyone would get new powers and stuff?
Yeah,
I just
remember
assumed that this storm was
Cheerleader
something like
before.
that. So, like, the X-Men, it'd reawaken, like, new X-Men, and they got hit by it and got, like, X-Men powers
What?
as a kid. That's how I thought it happened. But
Oh, that's how you thought it happened. I thought that was like an alternate timeline or something.
No, I thought this was in the movie, but then when I rewatched the movie, I was like, oh, it doesn't exist. So
Oh, I wish that happened. That'd be better.
that'd be a cool way to tie it in.
What about that
I just
monk-
remember Reed changing his head to
an Asian man?
Oh no, that was weird.
I
I
love
think
that
that's kind
scene.
of. I like that part.
No, yeah, I like it. It was a weird effect changing back into Miles Teller's face.
It
But
was. It was better
Yeah.
than the Rise of the Silver Surfer scene where Reed Richards turns into Wolverine.
that's
though.
what I was
It
gonna.
was
That's what I was gonna
leaps
talk
and
about
bounds.
right now.
Yeah.
'Cause we were talking about X-Men and
That's the closest we ever got.
yeah, that's the closest we
The
ever
lead
got.
scene where he turns into Wolverine with facial hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I do like that part where he's just fucking hiding and like
He's disguising himself
He's-
by stretching his face.
he's doing the Bruce Banner thing where it's like he's in like South America
Yeah.
or whatever hiding out. There's one action scene in this movie and it's at the end. That's the only action sequence in the whole film.
Oh, the last
Wow,
10 minutes when,
I've never
when
noticed that.
Doctor Doom comes in.
I've never noticed that there's only one action scene in this movie.
Yeah.
I
Well,
must
when
just be too enthralled in the plot.
well, there's a lot going on. But yeah, there's one action scene, and that's not like I need my superhero movies to have 100
I
sequences.
need more
and
fire.
more explosions. No, but when you think about it, there's one action scene, and it's fine. It's fine, but it's
I feel like it's less fine about when it's a movie about a superhero team, and that's the one time they're a team, and they're just like, we make such a good team when they've done one thing together.
Oh yeah.
Like at the very end when they get like an entire like company to themselves.
I wish they
and
called
they did
this
one thing.
I wish they called this movie. There is only one thing. It's true. Well, I wish they called this movie.
Shut the fuck up.
I wish they called this movie Two Guys, a Girl, and the Thing That Nobody Wanted.
They should have
Wow.
called it that.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's
Do you know-
great.
I think I just didn't notice the lack of action sequences because I was watching it and then I'd be like, oh look how good that monkey looks,
Right, I was just gonna
and then
say.
it just move on.
Are they? Maybe they got Toby Kebbell to fucking mocap that monkey, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that because it's a better effect than anything in
It
the
was a
movie.
good-looking monkey.
It was a good looking.
I remember
monkey.
seeing it and just thinking, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
10 out of
Well,
10.
Well, I guess they don't show it for long though,
Yeah.
so that's probably why. And they mostly just show its face on that monitor, so he's just a scared monkey. I don't know why this movie feels the need to do those weird reference things, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, we're explaining where its clobbering time comes from. We're explaining
Yeah.
Doctor Doom over here. We're explaining all these
I like
things.
that one.
Yeah, well, but it's weird because that's just his name.
Yeah, that's why I thought it was so weird because it's just his name.
It's just his name. Like, yeah, yes.
Like he's a scientist, so technically, yes,
that-
he is Doctor
That
Doom.
is Doctor Doom. That's correct, Sue. Good identification skills.
I think they have like good chemistry. I like the scene where Reed asks for help and Johnny is just like, oh, what do you need? And he's just like just dead nice when he like rather than just being like, oh, I'm better than you because I'm cool or whatever.
He is very
Just-
cool. It's true.
Dead nice. I just love it.
Yeah, well, again, they're all good in it individually, and they're fine together. It's just, Franny, though, you're right. At the end, it's weird, where it's like, we're a team, we're best friends. But the
That is
scene I
weird.
like with them is when they're all wasted, and Doctor Doom's like, nobody fucking remembers who actually built the thing. They only remember who went to space.
Yeah,
I like
I
that
love
scene.
that.
I legitimately think that's really
that's
smart.
definitely one of the best scenes.
And that, yeah, because that's one of the scenes where it's like, it's just people talking. This hasn't been tampered with or anything.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel forced. It feels like they're actually like friends.
It's true. The best parts of the movie are the scenes where nothing confusing is happening, and it's just like the four of them are interacting, except for some of the stuff at the start where Reed is talking to Sue and he's like, "You like music?" He's being really creepy and overbearing there. I don't like some of that stuff.
The best scenes are the ones where they're excluding Sue from everything and just talking.
Boys will be boys. Yeah.
Like,
but...
where is Sue in every single like interaction scene? She's never there.
Well, she's listening to music.
She's listening to music.
Yeah, exactly. See, she just wouldn't get it. What do you think about Ben Grimm? He's just going on missions for the military, killing people.
Love it.
I kind of like that. It's like...
It's clobbering time to the Taliban.
Yeah. This is the right era. Well, this is the ISIS era, so he'd be taking them out. Although, when does this take place? I don't fucking know.
2014, I think.
Yeah, I think around then.
I think they give a year and they do a time jump.
You guys got me. You got me.
We got you like right
Fuck
when
my...
you asked, like
never,
right away.
Never mind. You guys are too good. But yeah, no. Okay, so never mind. But I like elements of this movie as an Elseworld story where it's like, yeah, the thing's killing people in the woods, and Johnny Storm is just like, what's he doing? He's like another like free agent for the government, right, or whatever.
He's just training really, really hard to become a soldier, essentially.
Okay, so
he's just fine with it.
I like some of that stuff, and I like whenever they actually use their powers. It looks better than it ever has.
Yeah.
Like, at the end, when they're actually fighting, it looks good. I like that.
Technology has advanced a lot since the last Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, again, it's been a long time.
I feel like Sue felt a bit, like, left out. You know, when Sue's tests her powers, and then Johnny comes in, it seems like the attention goes to him straight away, and she looks like she's a bit resentful.
I think that's a good point. Well, yeah, and she's adopted. Maybe there's saying something there. There's a whole subplot.
They literally
But I guess
cry
we'll never
every
know.
night thinking about the movie that could have been.
Yeah, I know, right? There could be some good... Again, there's inklings of really good stuff in here, but none of it's explored. There's, like, 20 ideas, and we stay on, like, the two least interesting ones for most of it. That's how I feel, anyway.
You can just tell there's a great movie in there.
There could be. I
movie.
think I would like to see. This isn't a Snyder thing where it's like they're never gonna show his cut. Oh, why is he refilming parts of his cut? It's what he always had in mind, but now he's adding 100 things. But I do legitimately want to see Josh Trank's version of this.
I am very curious.
He said it doesn't exist though.
It doesn't exist. They deleted all footage and storyboards. That
was the day the world ended.
Yeah, it's a shame. Because some of the stuff in here could be super cool. This movie's weird enough and has enough interesting things that I'm not like, worst superhero movie ever. But
that's Catwoman.
That's Catwoman, which we haven't even gotten to yet. Have you seen it?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because
that's why I can say with confidence it's the worst.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad?
No, Catwoman, but Suicide Squad's up there too.
Suicide Squad's pretty bad, but I think Catwoman's a little worse.
I haven't seen Catwoman or Elektra, and I think they're the only two I haven't seen, apart from really old Superman and Batman ones. But Ang Lee's Hulk is absolutely terrible.
Ang Lee's Hulk is actually
so much,
in comparison to this. Ang Lee's Hulk, I'm interested in some of this, but you didn't do what you should have done with it.
It's bad, but it's fun.
But the thing with Ang Lee's Hulk is, like, that's his fault that there's weird ideas, because those are his ideas. This is all the shit I don't
This is like studio
was clearly
stuff.
Added on later, which is the worst kind of thing. Same with Suicide Squad. It's like the studio fucked with this so much that we'll never know what it was really going to be like. And that's...
Can you imagine if they'd done that, the James Gunn version? I would be furious.
oh yeah.
The James Gunn version looks amazing.
It needs to be more like Deadpool now. You need to just take a dark... Because what they did with Suicide Squad, they just took a dark, serious movie, added some jokes, and then threw like neon paint onto it. But we'll get there. We'll get there in a long time, but we'll get there.
Terrible movie.
Yeah, it's really, really awful.
Doesn't deserve a Snyder cut, because Zack Snyder...
Definitely not.
Snyder's Snyder cuts are actually great.
There's that extended cut. There's an extended cut of Suicide Squad, but nobody talks about it.
Yeah, I've watched that.
Anything?
I don't know.
I've watched it. Yeah, I got it on Blu-ray especially for that.
It's got
good?
Like
8 minutes of extra footage. Batman v Superman had like half an hour.
Yeah,
and the only thing I noticed was like 2 scenes with Joker and Harley Quinn that were like 30 seconds long, and the rest was still shit.
Yeah, I was gonna make a joke that all 8 minutes were just more Joker footage.
Well, there you go,
It's
because
just the worst.
wasn't he saying, like, there's enough cutout footage to make its own movie or
Yeah,
whatever?
he's like, there's an hour and a half
Yeah.
of cut Joker footage. Let me be Joker more.
No, nobody wants that.
And then isn't he gonna be in?
Honka honka.
Isn't he gonna be?
He's gonna be in
Joker
Justice
something
League.
again?
He's going to be in Justice League, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna be in Justice League. That's what it was.
Yay!
It's like when they announced that Jamie Foxx was coming back as Electro, and everyone was like, "Oh, all right."
What else do we want to say about FAnt4stic, guys?
Oh,
Anything we've left out?
I've notes. I like when Michael B. When Johnny is introducing it, when Johnny introduces himself to them, and he introduces Doctor Doom as Borat.
Oh, yeah. What a weird reference for this week.
What?
That he calls him Borat.
Oh,
As-
yeah, that
as
was
relevant as ever.
I know, right?
Oh, also
That's
calling
relevant.
him Adolf.
Yeah, that was
That
weird.
was weird.
That
Yeah.
was a little weird.
Just racist.
Yeah.
To be fair,
And then he's just like, I'm not
basically
even
Hitler.
German.
Yeah, I know. That was so weird. He's Latvian, Franny. He's Latvian.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but then he has a weird dictator as well. So yeah, it's like they took that joke from a version where he is a dictator.
Yeah, that's a really good
and
point.
left it
Actually,
in, even though it's the hacker version.
it makes a
or
lot
whatever.
more sense. But yeah, now he's just a guy who just fucking plays Fortnite. Or it's not Fortnite. If it was now, it would be Fortnite. But it's so. Paul, your notes. What else should we talk about?
Well, I didn't make many notes, but I could talk about this film all day. So, I like the bit where I think it's Doctor Doom, but it might be Johnny, says but better get comfy, kids. We're about to make history. Think that. Just love it. I also love how like Sue Storm's not actually involved. You know, she just walks in and gets blasted by an energy field.
Yeah, she
Not
doesn't even
like
get.
it's energy related.
She doesn't even get to go to the fucking planet. I
Yeah,
never even.
it is cool though, because like she gets her powers, which are to do with energy, just by getting hit with the energy field.
That's
So, like-
true. This movie is much better at differentiating why they have their specific powers.
Oh, like Johnny lighting
Yeah.
on fire inside the pod.
Yeah, that's so much better than the other version where they all get hit with the same wave of energy, and then they have completely different powers. They should all have the same power.
I remember my mind was blown when I found out the comic book Doctor Doom was like a magician, and it's not just a weird telekinesis man or something. I was like, what?
I know he's a weird electricity guy with his
Whatever he
face
was in
falling
those
off.
movies. Seemed his powers changed movie to movie.
But he actually gets the mask from Latveria or something. Remember
I think
he
phrase of the day is Doctor Doom is a magician.
Yeah. Yeah. Why don't we have a phrase of the day segment, Franny?
This next one's a pretty hot take, I'd say. As if everything I've said about this movie isn't a hot take. But the scene at the end where they're like, "Oh, what should we call ourselves?" I love that scene.
I can't agree with you, but I love your love for this
Love how
movie.
cheesy it is.
I love when people love weird movies that no one else likes. I always think that's great. So I'm glad that you like this so much.
It's
it's
good
just-
that people do enjoy these things.
It's memorable. I remember that scene.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. I've edited it into past episodes of the podcast, I'm sure, because we bring it up all the
I
time.
hate every single one of those.
Remember,
And there's so
it was
many
added to Netflix in the UK this year, Gabe, and I messaged you.
Yeah, that's
I think it was
right.
like two nights in a row I was watching it.
How many times do you think you've actually seen this movie?
Oh, so it came out in 2015. I don't watch it all the time, by the way. Like, when I put it on earlier, it was the first time I've watched it since when it was added to Netflix, and I watched it 2 days in a row. But when I used to watch the DVD, I think it was like Jordan Revision and stuff. I'd put it on all the time and then just replay it when it finished. So maybe about 20 times, maybe more or less, but like a lot.
Paul,
Probably the most ever.
I genuinely believe you've seen this more than anyone on the planet. I really do
Same.
think
I
that.
believe I've seen this more than the people who edited it together.
Oh
Since
yeah.
There's so many different people doing it.
Yeah, I think you've seen it more than anyone has willingly seen this movie.
Are you saying
Yeah.
that someone's accidentally seen this?
I'm
100
sure there's
times?
someone that's been forced to watch this movie against their will.
What is this scenario you've created? Okay, you're gonna tell us where the nuclear codes are, or we're gonna make you watch FAnt4stic
All right, play the scene again.
80 times. What should we call ourselves?
Play the scene again. It's clouded inside.
I'll talk.
Yeah, 10 seconds in. And we gotta bring up Dan Castellaneta is the principal. Homer Simpson is his principal. Yeah,
Never knew that.
his teacher. Yeah, that's Homer Simpson right there.
I never knew that.
That's
All right.
amazing.
So there you go.
What a bizarre thing.
Yeah,
I
it is.
love the bit at the start where he's telling the class that he wants to make a flying car and stuff when he's older. I was like, oh.
I know, Fantastic Car. I was like,
I didn't even get onto that. The first 20 times I watched it was only like the last time I watched it. I was like, wow. It's like in the comics.
yeah, I know. Well, that's how they get you with this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know what that is. I remember that.
I understood that reference.
Yeah.
Have to do
Yeah.
but
Are we done with FAnt4stic, boys?
never.
We have
I'll watch it
listeners,
for the
though.
rest of my life.
Well, we can talk about some see what some listeners wrote in if we wanna do that. Oh, also, I just want to make quick reference to the Thing Burger tie-in from this movie for Denny's. Yeah, you should look it up. It's fucking horrid. Anyway, okay, let's see what some people wrote in. So Luke Ossivert says, no movie studio can do Fantastic Four properly because Fantastic Four is stupid and sincere. Most modern movie studios have to undercut the silliness of superheroes with humor, which doesn't work for them. The only other way is to go gritty, which Fantastic Four proves is dumb. So basically, he's trying to say that you have to have... Basically, if you ever watched that 60s... Do you remember that video I made you watch where it's all the clips from the 60s Fantastic Four show? And it's just really ridiculous? That's what has to happen. It has to be silly without being like
It has to be
tongue-in-cheek, like, oh, yeah, we know what we're
self-referential.
doing.
Okay. The Thing
Yeah.
Burger doesn't look horrible.
Yeah, I agree.
The Thing Burger doesn't look horrible. I thought it would look a lot worse.
They
That
should
would
make
look
it out of rocks.
They should.
It's still kind of gross. I feel like that'd be
No,
weird.
yeah,
that would feel
it
weird
would
to
probably
hold.
taste gross, but it does, just looking at it doesn't look like it's not repulsive to look at or anything.
I just think it's funny.
It's definitely funny.
Sebastian Matthias Weevack, that can't be a real name.
I hope it is.
I hope it is too. Says, I think James and Mason from the Weekly Planet talked about it once, but they should do a 60s style Fantastic Four movie with cardboard cities, back projection, terrible costumes, split screens, and lots of hairspray. So they should do a parody of like a 60s show, but make it Fantastic Four. What do we think about that, boys?
Yeah, I mean, I'd watch it. I don't know if it'd be good, but
Okay, and here we are, Paul. Here's what Noah said. Noah Salzman has written in, and he says, the slightest seeds of a cool movie are in here, but it goes without saying it totally falls apart as the plot unfolds. I like the gritty realism of the power because I'm an edgelord who loves body horror, but those few cool moments don't make up for the painfully below-average story. Blue portal beam in the sky, boo! I adore all four leads in their respective roles, but it's a major shame that this is what they were given. I feel bad for the creative team. I think it's well documented this was a huge victim of studio meddling. Sometimes you can't get the project back on track, unfortunately. Also, they totally ripped off the classic
back
scene.
on Trank.
Yeah, because Josh Trank. Also, they totally ripped off the classic scene. Heroes standing in a warehouse on a balcony, and they tease the famous superhero name phrase, but don't actually say it, from Age of Ultron. Anyway, hi, Paul. I'm sure your takes on the movie are bad and wrong.
Oh, no. Can't believe you put that in. Well, Noah, when you said the slightest idea, like, bits of good ideas, you were wrong because it's all good ideas. Wow.
See,
Unbelievable.
anytime I read something from Noah, I always immediately go, Noah, I agree with everything you say all the time. And I do think that he's right that there's a lot of, like we've all said, I think, untapped potential here. Paul thinks it's a lot better, but I think that they didn't quite go as far as they should have.
Oh, it's just filled with potential that's all there. Like, every single scene, I'm like, that's amazing. but it could be amazing. Like it's just but yeah, like they should. I hate that they butchered this movie. I hate it.
Anyway, Lee Morante says, I've never seen it, but whenever I see The Thing, I'm often reminded that Stan Lee never really gave us an answer on whether the Thing's man-meat is in fact made of rock or not. There's a Mallrats reference in there somewhere. Yes, because in Mallrats, Brody asks him, is everything made of orange rock? And Stan goes, I know what you mean. It's a comic secret. We couldn't really tackle stuff like that back with the comic code and all. And Stanley noticeably does not have a cameo in this movie.
That's amazing.
Only imagine they asked him and he said, what? So,
what?
What? And Luke Crossan says, but I think you're right. I think they probably asked him and he said no. But Luke Crossan says, this film made me wish they'd stop trying to make Fantastic Four films. It was kind of an interesting sci-fi film, but a terrible superhero film. My favorite stuff is definitely the stuff that isn't superhero related in this, and I think the suits look boring. The actual suits, there's nothing to them. They're just flight suits.
Reed suit's amazing.
Okay.
I like that it's all like cobbled together to keep him from stretching, like so that he doesn't just
I like that part
fucking
at
blob
the end.
out or something. That's just cool.
I like that part at the end when you see the things like break off, like and then his arms just go crazy. Do you remember that,
Yeah.
Franny? When did you watch this? Did you just watch this morning?
No, I watched it last night, like right before I went to sleep. It was like 1 in the
Yeah.
morning when I finished it, and I was like, "All right, time to go to sleep."
Wow, I bet you had dreams about it, Franny. I bet you couldn't stop thinking about the Thing Burger.
Yeah, I had nightmares about the Thing Burger.
So you guys have anything else to say? I know Paul could talk about it forever, but it is hard to sustain a constant stream of consciousness when talking about the masterpiece that is Josh Trank's FAnt4stic. What?
I reckon Gabe should watch Chronicle.
I should.
We can do every Chronicle ever.
We'll do one movie. I will watch Chronicle. And
we'll
totally
do every
do
movie with the word Chronicle in it.
Okay, Chronicles of Narnia, Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Can you think of any other ones? Chronicles of Riddick.
Oh, yes.
Okay, yeah, so all those great movies. We'll definitely...
Those classics.
The Spiderwick Chronicles.
The Spiderwick Chronicles. I had that on DVD.
Why?
Because I used to watch it all the time in, like, this second grade. That was awesome. There's a part in that movie when the kid just stabs his dad with a knife. It's so violent. I should watch that again. Okay, so that's it then?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Paul, thank you so much for coming on the show. We've been talking about doing this forever. I'm glad we actually got to do it. Hopefully we can have you on again for something in the future. I know you don't love anything quite as much as you love Fantastic Four, but maybe we could figure something out, and you can talk about Suicide Squad or something.
When they make Fantastic Four 2.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, Batman 89.
We'll have to fly out to to England for
Batman
the
Returns.
premiere of Fantastic Four 2. Okay, well that's it for us. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter at Marvel Movie Pod. You can find me on Instagram at FlipDeg. You can find me on Twitter at FlipDeg, but the E is a 3. Said it normally this time. We do another show every other week called Every DC Movie Ever, although I haven't released last week's episode yet. It's literally super short, and I should just fucking do it and not even edit it, but that'll be out at some point. Hopefully it's out by the time you're hearing this.
Nope.
This might be our last episode for a while. Probably not. Probably still do it. I think we can probably just figure it out. And you can find Paul. Paul, do you want to tell the people your Instagram and social media stuff?
Yeah, on on Instagram it's at Paul the Marth Art, and then on Twitter it's at Lord Paul the Marth, because I'm a gimp. and I have like a proper stupid pun name on most social media.
Okay, awesome. And you do a podcast, right?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can kind of hear you.
Yes. At Shiboka.
Awesome.
Shibocast on Instagram.
All that stuff will I'll throw all that stuff in the description. And Franny, when he traveled to the alternate goo dimension, his phone was destroyed.
I fused with my phone.
Yeah, his phone is just in his back. He can't reach it, so he cannot be on social media. Thanks again, Paul, for joining us. This was a lot of fun.
Great.
And next week, if we're doing a show, it will be a DC episode, and I think we're either talking about Batman or Swamp Thing. So
Great.
okay.
Either way.
Bye, everybody.
It's fantastic.
Say that again?
It's fantastic.
Yes, it is. Guys, I got it. Ready?
Yeah.